Hello guys, I am Ashish and today we are going to kickstart UPSC optional paper Public Administration paper 1. My main motive of bringing on this lecture is to bring quality content on YouTube for free for all of UPSC aspirants. Why? Because when we search on YouTube there are no quality lectures available for UPSC Public Administration as such. So I thought why not. More about my plan of lectures I'll talk about the end of this lecture. So without much ado, let's start. So this is, as you can see, introduction module 1 of public administration paper 1, and this is the syllabus that has been given by UPSC official syllabus, which consists of meaning, scope and significance, Wilson's view, evolution, new public administration, public choice theory, LPG, liberalization, public privatization and globalization, good governance and new public management. We will look into this everything one by one. Just hang on with me and it will get really interesting. So to start with meaning, administration, the root of all things. What is administration? So you just need to consider only one thing about administration, that it is a cooperative action towards some common goal. Okay, so what is administration? It is an English word which is made up of two Latin words, ad and ministrar, which mean to serve or to manage. And as I said, two essential elements of administration are a common goal, which is a purpose, and a cooperative action towards achieving that common goal. So what would be definition of administration look like? It is a cooperative effort towards achieving some common goals. Okay, so administration as such is divided into two. First is public administration. What does public administration mean? Activities carried on by government. Public means government. बस इतना याद रख लो. Private administration. What does private administration mean? It is the management of private business enterprises. Okay, any company, any business enterprise, that is private administration. Now in common parlance, okay, so first of all, bear with me, I am using these short forms of administration. It is too much of a headache to type the whole word. ADMN I am using. Okay, so I am using this short form for administration. So in common parlance, the term administration is used to indicate so many things. A few of these things are: it is a body of persons in charge of affairs like Indian administration or Nehru administration. It is a branch of learning like administration science. It is a field in itself. It is a sum total of work undertaken to implement a policy or to produce goods and services. ठीक है, तो ये सब होता है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का. ये सब आपको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. आई एम इंक्लूडिंग दिस बिकॉज इट इज इम्पोर्टेंट दैट यू नो अबाउट इट. And it is also an art of management, like personal management. Personal management is what? Hiring and firing of people. In basic terminology, that is personal administration. We'll learn about it more in detail in personal administration module. Okay, so this is in common parlance what administration means. So having dealt with administration, now let's move towards public administration. So what is public administration? Remember one thing, public means government. Okay, so और कुछ नहीं है, it is just a study of activities carried on by government. So अगर टेक्निकल लैंग्वेज में बोलना है तो इट इज स्टडी ऑफ मैनेजमेंट ऑफ पब्लिक एजेंसीज दैट कैरी आउट पब्लिक पॉलिसीज टू फुलफिल पब्लिक इंटरेस्ट. Okay, so this is the technical definitions. To understand, just remember it is the study of activities carried on by any government, which can be any public agency also, right? Okay, so it is a specialized academic field. What does this mean? It is a different subject that we study, right? History is a different subject, public administration is a different subject. It is a specialized academic field in itself. It is a non-political bureaucracy operating in a political system. So what does this mean? Remember one thing, that whenever earlier scholars and thinkers defined public administration, they always defined it in terms of politics and administration as different fields. Okay, they always stressed on this fact that politics is different from administration, they cannot be mingled with each other. But as of today, the view that we are accepting is that we cannot segregate in different compartments these two, politics and administration. Why? Because they intermingle in some way or the other. So bureaucracy, as an IAS or IPS officer, you are a non-political bureaucrat. You are not supposed to adhere to any particular party, whichever political party is in power, be it BJP or Congress or SP or BSP or whatever, you are supposed to be non-political. So it is a non-political bureaucracy, but it operates in a political system. More about this we'll see in detail in future lectures about ministerial responsibility and whatnot. So just remember that politics and administration cannot be segregated in two different compartments. Okay, they are always related. It is a non-political bureaucracy operating in a political system. It is also concerned with policy making along with policy execution. A dominant view always has been that administrators are for policy implementation and policy making is the job of the politicians. But as I told you earlier, politics and administration cannot be segregated into two different compartments. So public administration is concerned with both policy making and policy execution. Why? Because administrators are at the grassroots. They know what the problems are, so they are heavily involved in policy making. It covers all three branches of government. What are those? Legislative, executive and judiciary, but it is concentrated in the executive branch. Some definitions we'll look now what the scholars have given. Now you do not need to remember these definitions, just try and understand things. That is all you need to do. Okay, if you are quoting any scholar, that is a big thing in your answer, but if you are not able to remember it, it's fine, it's okay. So first scholar we'll see is Dwight Waldo. Public administration is a species belonging to genus administration. So he says that administration का एक part होता है public administration, and which is in turn a type of cooperative human effort, which we already saw. It is a cooperative human effort towards some common goal. Okay. Herbert Simon is another scholar who says that activities of executive branches of national, state and local governments. He specifically argues for only executive branches and not legislative and judiciary. This is what Herbert Simon says. And the best definition of all comes from Friedrich Mosher. He says perhaps it is best that it is not be defined. So that is public administration for you. In short, let's move ahead. Administration, organization and management. Now again I will please deal with the shortcuts that I am using, ADMN and ORG, and this is organization and this is administration. I am sorry for if it irritates you. It is just easier for me to type. So what is administration? Administration deals with what the organization must achieve. It defines the goal. हमने देखा ना administration में एक common goal होता है, तो what defines that goal? Who defines that goal? Sorry, it is administration. Administration deals with what the organization must achieve, the objective, the goal. It lays down the broad policies. ठीक है? It defines the goal जिसके लिए आप cooperative effort लगाते हो. That is what administration does. उसका basic काम होता है to define the common purpose. What is organization? It is an institution, nothing else. But simply it is an institution. It is an aggregate of men and material arranged in a systematic manner to achieve a desired objective. It is an institution. ठीक है? एक proper institution होता है तो सब कुछ अच्छे से काम होता है. Management. What is management? It deals with how the organization should achieve the objective. Now, administration has defined the objectives. It has defined the goals. What management does? It tells you how you should achieve those objectives. It lays out the plan. It strives towards it. You know. Now, next topic is scope of public administration. Bear with me here. Again, it is a theoretical topic. Trust me, when we reach to evolution and Wilson's view, it will get much more interesting. So, dealing with scope of public administration, remember scope is always defined as the regions that public administration covers. Okay, so there are three major branches of government we know: legislature, executive and judiciary. So क्वेश्चन सवाल क्या उठता है? इट इज दैट which of these activities are included in PubEd. हमने देखा previous slides में that PubEd basically is concerned with all of these branches, but mainly it deals with executive. So that is what scope of public administration tries to define. Different scholars and thinkers have said different things. हम वो सब देखेंगे अभी. Okay, so there are basically three major scopes, three major pairs of scope that we will see. First is integral versus managerial. Another is broader versus narrower view, and the third one is port scope versus subject matter view. So to start with the integral view, नाउ रिमेंबर वन थिंग, इंटीग्रल व्यू एंड मैनेजरियल व्यू, ये जो फर्स्ट पैर हम देखने वाले हैं, इट डील्स विद ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एज द बेसिस। ओके, एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को बेसिस ले लो और उसके ऊपर फिर हम देखेंगे इंटीग्रल व्यू है या मैनेजरियल व्यू है। सो व्हाट इज इंटीग्रल व्यू? इट इनकम्पासेस ऑल द एक्टिविटीज अंडरटेकन टू अचीव ऑब्जेक्टिव। ठीक है, एक छोटा सा प्यून भी होगा ना, उसकी भी ऑब्जेक्टिव, उसकी भी एक्टिविटीज हम लोग इसमें इंटीग्रेट करते हैं। दैट इज इंटीग्रल व्यू, फ्रॉम द टॉप सीईओज टू द smallest peon or clerk of the organization, every activity is considered integral view. This is what is integral view is, all the activities undertaken to achieve the objective. ठीक है, sum total of managerial, technical, clerical and manual activities, सारे activities आते हैं इसमें। ठीक है, एक्टिविटीज ऑफ ऑल पर्सन फ्रॉम टॉप टू बॉटम, फ्रॉम अ प्यून टू अ टॉप लेवल सेक्रेटरी, जो मैंने आपको बताया। एंड थिंकर्स हु सपोर्ट दिस, अभी यू डू नॉट हैव टू रिमेंबर दिस, व्हेन वी विल गो टू मॉड्यूल 2 आपको अपने आप याद हो जाएगा कौन सा थिंकर कौन सा व्यू सपोर्ट करता है। ठीक है, सो फेओल क्या सपोर्ट करता है, डिमॉक एंड अदर्स क्या सपोर्ट करते हैं, आपको अपने आप समझ में आ जाएगा। सो थिंकर्स हु सपोर्ट दिस आर दिस। ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट इंटीग्रल व्यू लुक्स लाइक। दिस इज डायरेक्टर जनरल एट टॉप, उसके नीचे डायरेक्टरेट्स होते हैं डिफरेंट, एंड एवरी डायरेक्टरेट हैज अ डिफरेंट डिवीजन एंड एवरी डिवीजन हैज अ डिफरेंट सेक्शन। सो एवरीथिंग कम्स इनटू इंटीग्रल व्यू, इट इज द सम टोटल ऑफ एवरीथिंग, मैनेजरियल, टेक्निकल, क्लरिकल, सब कुछ होता है इसमें। ठीक है, तो अभी इसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है इंटीग्रल व्यू में, सम वी लुक नाउ एट सम प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ इंटीग्रल व्यू। Problems with this view is it consists of complex of activities undertaken, whole complex of activities। ठीक है, सब कुछ उसमें आ जाता है। So even your peon is an administration, even your CEO is an administrator। ठीक है, हर कोई एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है, पियून एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है, क्लर्क एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है, सीईओ तो एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर है ही। ठीक है, तो इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ अ होल कॉम्प्लेक्स ऑफ एक्टिविटीज। ठीक है, तो उससे क्या हो जाता है, देयर इज नो बॉन्ड ऑफ यूनिटी अमॉन्ग दोज एक्टिविटीज, इट इज जस्ट अ हेट्रोजेनस मास ऑफ एक्टिविटीज। ठीक है, कुछ होमोजेनिटी नहीं है, कुछ यूनिटी नहीं है इन दोज एक्टिविटीज, एक्सेप्ट दैट ऑफ कॉमन पर्पज ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, बस उसको छोड़ के और कोई यूनिटी नहीं है। इट इज वेरी वेग एंड अनसाइंटिफिक व्यू। व्हाई? बिकॉज सब कुछ तो उसमें ले लिया। इट हिंडर्स द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ पब्लिक इनटू अ डिस्टिंक्ट एकेडमिक डिसिप्लिन। ठीक है, तो ये प्रॉब्लम्स हैं इस व्यू का, क्योंकि सब कुछ तो इसमें कंसिडर कर लेते हो तो आपको फिर एक पर्टिकुलर डेफिनेशन पे अराइव होने में प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है। नाउ मैनेजरियल व्यू एज अपोज टू इंटीग्रल व्यू, जो सब कुछ कंसिडर करता है फ्रॉम प्यून टू मैनेजर एवरीथिंग, देयर इज मैनेजरियल व्यू। सो व्हाट डज मैनेजरियल व्यू प्रपोज, कि उसमें सब कुछ नहीं आता है, सिर्फ मैनेजर्स का ही काम आता है। दिस इज ऑल यू नीड टू नो अबाउट मैनेजरियल व्यू। सो इट एनकम्पासेस ओनली द मैनेजरियल एक्टिविटीज, ओनली द टॉप पर्सन, जो मैनेजर्स होते हैं, सीईओज होते हैं, सिर्फ उन्हीं के एक्टिविटीज इसमें काउंट होते हैं। डज नॉट इंक्लूड टेक्निकल, क्लरिकल एंड मैनुअल एक्टिविटीज एज अपोज टू योर इंटीग्रल व्यू। मैनेजरियल एक्टिविटीज यूनाइट, कोऑर्डिनेट एंड कंट्रोल ऑल दोज ऑपरेशन, उनके अंडर जो काम होता है ना, वो सबको यूनाइट कर देते हैं। जो प्यून काम कर रहा है, जो क्लर्क काम कर रहा है, जो उनके सबऑर्डिनेट्स काम कर रहे हैं, वो मैनेजर सब कुछ यूनाइट कर देते हैं। दे यूनाइट, कोऑर्डिनेट एंड कंट्रोल ऑल दोज ऑपरेशंस जो हमने स्किप किए हैं। ठीक है, तो इट व्हाट डज इट लुक लाइक, इट लुक्स लाइक एन इंटीग्रेटेड एफर्ट, but it is only concerned with managers at the top level, and these managers coordinate with everybody below them, so everything comes under it, but we consider only managerial activities as the public administration, as the scope of public administration, sorry. Now thinkers who support this are Herbert Simon, Gulick and Ervik and Thompson। ये सब आप अपने आप समझ जाओगे जब when we'll reach to module 2, do not worry about it। This is how managerial view looks like, you know, manager takes care of planning, implementation and controlling, and feedback is also there, सब कुछ वो control करता है, and this is what managerial view looks like। It consists of only activities taken by a manager, only managerial activities, not technical, not clerical, not manual, because these authors say, these scholars say that एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन अगर आप ले रहे हो, स्कोप ऑफ पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इट्स ओनली एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, उसमें टेक्निकल काम नहीं आता, इट्स ओनली एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, इट्स ओनली मैनेजरियल। सो व्हाट आर द प्रॉब्लम्स विद दिस व्यू, इट डज नॉट इंक्लूड ऑल द एक्टिविटीज, तो नीचे वाले लोअर लेवल जो हैं उनका काम इग्नोर हो जाता है, इट्स लाइक दे आर नॉट सिग्निफिकेंट। सो दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम विद द व्यू। Moving ahead, we have our next pair, which is broader view versus narrower view. तो हमने देखा इंटीग्रल वर्सेस मैनेजरियल वाज कंसर्न्ड विद ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एज बेसिस. ओके, सो ब्रॉडर वर्सेस नैरोअर विल बी कंसर्न्ड विद गवर्नमेंट एज बेसिस. ओके, so broader view, supporters of broader view say that it makes up of all the three branches of government: legislative, executive and judiciary. सब कुछ उसमें आता है. L.D. White एक scholar है, he says since problems of administration are faced by all three organs of government, that does not appear any reason why PubAd should not include government in action as a whole. ठीक है, प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो है वो तीनों ही फेस करते हैं, लेजिस्लेटिव हो या एग्जीक्यूटिव हो या जुडिशरी हो. एवरी ब्रांच फेसेस द प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, सो व्हाई शुड वी नॉट इंक्लूड देम? दिस इज द कंसेप्ट ऑफ ब्रॉडर व्यू. स्कॉलर्स हु सपोर्ट दिस आर L.D. White, Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, हम देखेंगे, Dimmock and others, and this is everything you need to know about broader view. Opposed to that is the narrower view. It is the study of executive organ of government only, not the legislative, not the judiciary, only the executive organ of government. Gulick and Ervik support this. So Gulick, of those famous pair, says that it is that part of science which has to do with government. Okay, public administration is that part of science which has to do only with government, and thus it concerns itself primarily with only the executive branch where the work of government is done. ठीक है, he also says that though there are obviously administrative problems also in legislative and judicial branches, but our public administration scope is limited only to executive branch because that is where the work of government is done. ठीक है, this is what the argument has been put forward by the supporters of narrower view. Thinkers who support this are Gulick and Urvik and Simon, Smithsburg, Thompson. ये आप समझ जाओगे. Now understand one thing: the people who support managerial view are the same people who support narrower view. The people who support integral view as a whole, पूरा organization आना चाहिए, प्यून भी मैनेजर भी, are the same people who support your broader view. ठीक है, so द बेसिस माइट बी डिफरेंट. एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से बेसिस पे बोलता है, एक गवर्नमेंट के बेसिस पे बोलता है, बट पीपल हैव द सेम आइडियाज. ओके, सो दीज आर द सेम पीपल हु सपोर्ट द डिफरेंट व्यूज. सो आवर नेक्स्ट पेयर विल बी पॉडस्कॉप वर्सेस सब्जेक्ट मैटर व्यू. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज पॉडस्कॉप? पॉडस्कॉप इज शॉर्ट फॉर्म, इट्स एन एब्रीवेशन ऑफ समथिंग. वी विल सी दैट व्हाट इज P stands for something, O stands for something, S stands for something. तो हर एक चीज़ किसी चीज़ के लिए स्टैंड करती है, तो हम वो देखेंगे अभी. ठीक है, so what is Podskov view? It says that it includes only those activities which involves the techniques of management and are common to all types of organization. ठीक है, जो सारे organizations में common होता है ना, सिर्फ वो techniques of management ही हम लोग consider करते हैं. This is what Podskov view says. ठीक है, it remember one thing, okay, it basically deals with rules and regulations. ठीक है, Podskov view, when it defines the scope, it gives you some principles that ये अगर principle हैं, अगर P for planning होता है, suppose for example, तो अगर planning है तो it is a scope of public administration, so it gives you principles. Okay, so according to this view, scope of administration is limited only to techniques of management. ठीक है, जो common techniques हैं which are concerned with all type of organizations, all type of organizations को जो common होते हैं, सिर्फ उस तक ही limited है scope of public administration. It is advocated by Luther Gulick, and seven elements of administration. What Podskov stands for is P for planning. Planning is nothing. What do you do for what outlines you work out, you know, for achieving the goals. That is what the planning is. आप एक plan बनाते हो to achieve your goals. Organizing is establishing an institution, establishing a formal structure so that everything can be coordinated. That is organizing. S stands for staffing. Staffing is hiring and firing, recruitment and training of personnel. D is directing, making decisions and issuing orders. C, O as a combined thing stands for coordinating R is for reporting, B is for budgeting. These are basic terms, okay? I don't need to go into detail about this, and if you still feel, you can pause the video and read about it on this slide. So we'll now look about what are the advantages and what are the problems with Podscope view. Okay, so what Podscope view does, it gives unity, certainty and definiteness to public administration. Why does it do that? Because it lays down what public administration actually contains. Okay, it consists of techniques which are planning, organizing, staffing. तो एक definiteness मिल जाती है, right? It gives us certain kind of certainty. It makes the study more systematic. And now problems. The critics have pointed out that activities are neither the whole of administration nor the even most important part of it. When you come to look at it, it's kind of true. Okay, when you just limit your scope of public administration to just these 7 principles and say that nothing else matters and just these matter, so it's like ignoring everything else and saying that administration is just this. So Podscope actually contains neither the whole of administration nor even the most important part of it, because और भी बहुत कुछ होता है. We'll look about it in subject matter view. It fails to give us the knowledge about various field of administrative activity. Now this criticism is what gave rise to subject matter view. ठीक है, जो different fields of administrative study होते हैं वो उसका हमें कोई आइडिया नहीं आता है. सिर्फ बोलते हैं यहाँ पे कि it consists of only those technical management techniques which are common to all the fields, but it does not tell us about any of those fields. ठीक है, तो it is very limited in a sense. It does not contain any reference to formulation and implementation of policies. ठीक है, खाली प्रिंसिपल्स बना के रख दिए हैं, इम्प्लीमेंट कौन करेगा पॉलिसीज, राइट? क्रिटिसाइज्ड बाय सपोर्टर्स ऑफ ह्यूमन रिलेशंस अप्रोच. हम देखेंगे मॉड्यूल 2 में. व्हाट ह्यूमन रिलेशंस स्कॉलर्स से इज दैट आप ह्यूमन इमोशंस को इग्नोर नहीं कर सकते. आप कितने भी प्लान्स बना लो, कितने भी रूल्स बना लो, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे इट इज़ ह्यूमन हु इज टेकिंग द डिसीजंस. सो यू कैनॉट इग्नोर द एलिमेंट ऑफ ह्यूमन इमोशंस एंड ह्यूमन रैशनैलिटी. ओके, आप कितने भी प्लान्स बना लो, ह्यूमन इमोशंस फाइनली कम इन टू प्ले. सो Podscope व्यू डज नॉट take into account human emotions at all. So human relations scholars have criticized the Podscope view. It says, Podscope view says that problems of administration are same in all agencies regardless of the peculiar nature of the functions they perform, and this in fact overlooks the fact that it is different agencies are faced with different administrative problems. Okay, so this is the biggest problem of Podscope view, जो बोलता है कि these problems are common to everything. Now the scope of administration is defined very narrowly, being too inward. This is also one of the criticism. This is one of the problems of Podscope view. To go ahead with our opposing view of subject matter view, as we saw, Podscope view पहले आया, and in criticism to that what gave rise to was subject matter view. Evolved in reaction to Podscope view. As the Podscope view is technique oriented, it gives you 7 techniques के सिर्फ इतने तक ही limited है scope, as opposed to that subject matter view talks about knowledge of subject matter. ठीक है, knowledge of subject matter होना ज़रूरी है. What subject matter view lays emphasis on is services rendered and functions performed by any agency. ठीक है, वो जो एजेंसी जो सर्विसेज दे रही है, जो फंक्शंस कर रही है ना, उस पर इम्पोर्टेंट होता है, उस पर इम्पोर्टेंस दिया है सब्जेक्ट मैटर व्यू ने. दिस व्यू एडवोकेट्स दैट सब्सटेंटिव प्रॉब्लम्स ऑफ एन एजेंसी डिपेंड अपॉन द सब्जेक्ट मैटर. ठीक है, दो सर्विसेज परफॉर्म्ड, सर्विसेज रेंडर्ड एंड फंक्शंस परफॉर्म्ड आर द सब्जेक्ट मैटर. ठीक है, वो जो सर्विसेज और functions and that forms the subject matter. ठीक है, and the problems of any agency depend on these subject matter. ठीक है, अगर सर्विसेज में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रही है तो एजेंसी में प्रॉब्लम है, अगर फंक्शंस में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ रही है तो एजेंसी में प्रॉब्लम है. तो जो सब्सटेंटिव प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, जो बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं, दोज हैव टू डू विद सब्जेक्ट मैटर ओनली. सो दिस इज व्हाट सब्जेक्ट मैटर व्यू सेज. Therefore, study of public administration should deal with both, that is the Podscope and the substantive concerns. Now PubEd comprises, according to subject matter view, PubEd comprises of following areas of specialized study. ठीक है, we have talked about कि different fields होती हैं, different subject matters होते हैं. वो क्या होते हैं? ये होते हैं personal management, financial administration, public policy analysis, organizational theory and behavior. These are the subject matters, these are the specialized fields which should be considered, instead of saying that हर किसी का common techniques होते हैं. So what the point of all this is? The point is कि do not take Podscope view and subject matter view in different compartments. दोनों को साथ में लेके चलना पड़ता है. If you take both of them together, the scope of public administration would be defined in a much more better way. So they are not mutually exclusive, but they complement each other. ठीक है, दोनों एक दूसरे को complement करते हैं. They are not exclusive at all. They constitute the proper scope of public administration. And as Lewis Merriam says, पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज अ इंस्ट्रूमेंट विथ टू ब्लेड्स. ठीक है, एक ब्लेड होता है आपका पॉडस्कोप, दूसरा ब्लेड होता है आपका सब्जेक्ट मैटर व्यू. दिस इज व्हाट वन ऑफ द स्कॉलर्स सेज. यू डू नॉट हैव टू रिमेंबर द नेम एट ऑल. अगर आपको सिर्फ ये चीज़ भी याद आ जाती है ना कि इट इज़ एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट विथ टू ब्लेड्स और एक ब्लेड है पॉडस्कोप, यू कैन जस्ट राइट दैट. ओके, यू डू नॉट हैव टू मग अप ऑल द स्कॉलर्स. जो मग अप करना है वो हम मॉड्यूल 2 में देखेंगे. कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट स्टेटमेंट्स ऑफ सम स्कॉलर्स वी हैव टू रिमेंबर, तो वो हम देखेंगे. नॉट दिस इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट टू रिमेंबर एट ऑल. सो जस्ट रिमेंबर द आइडिया बिहाइंड इट. ओके, ये आइडिया याद रख लो कि किस तरह हम, if in exam they'll not ask, actually the UPSC has moved away from asking these basic questions. They have moved on to analytical questions, which we will look in a while. But if ever they ask about Podscope and subject matter, just say that they are not exclusive at all. They complement each other. They are like blades of a scissor and whatnot. Dimmock says that administration is concerned with what and how of the government. The what is the subject matter and how is the Podscope. How मतलब principles होते हैं ना, तो कैसे अचीव करेंगे, how will you achieve them, these are the techniques, the Podscope, planning, organizing. ठीक है, and what is dealt by subject matter. This is what Dimmock says. So we are done with our meaning, we are done with the scope. The last topic of today's lecture is significance of public administration. What is the significance of public administration? Remember this. Henry Fayol says administrative process is universal. You cannot skip administrative process. वो हर किसी में होता है. Every aspect of your life has been touched by administration. So administrative process is universal. Okay, if you have to quote anything about administration, just you can quote this by Henry Fayol. Okay, administrative process is universal. Modern state is described as the administrative state. Why? Because the state is everywhere. ठीक है, तो ये definition है. As I told you, it touches every aspect of your life. Why? Because modern life has become so complex. Initially क्या होता था ना, पहले ज़माने में इतनी life complex नहीं होती थी. Now we need administration to manage these complex affairs of our lives. We need the intervention of state because of increasing complexity of modern life. In ancient times, need of citizens were limited, more or less self-sufficient communities में रहते थे, सब कुछ आराम से manage हो जाता था. ठीक है. In modern times, because of scientific revolution, industrial revolution, everything has changed. ठीक है, means of production complex हो गया है. They require much greater degree of organizational effort. ठीक है, तो communities में रह के आप ये अचीव नहीं कर सकते. You need a intervention of state government. So need for intervention by state has increased, as this up arrow says. Need for intervention by state has increased. Many activities today can no longer be organized by citizens privately or even by village or city communities. As I said, intervention is needed. Therefore, governments have to come forward. Huge investments are required for communication, transport, और ये पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? Only governments can provide that. As an entrepreneur, you cannot start your own railways in an entire country. All right. So huge investments are required for infrastructure. So these for managing this, it is that public administration का significance. I am telling you, it for managing this, it is important that public administration exists in our modern times and it was not in ancient times. The idea of administration has always been there, ठीक है. हमेशा जब भी communities में रहते थे, the idea of administration has always been there, but as a distinctive field, administration has been come to live in modern times. इट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड फॉर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर, इट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड फॉर पब्लिक हेल्थ, एजुकेशन, जस्टिस. हर चीज़ के लिए एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन चाहिए होता है, हर चीज़ के लिए एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन चाहिए होता है. एंड आई डू नॉट नीड टू एक्सप्लेन दिस टू यू, यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस राइट. आई मीन लॉ एंड ऑर्डर के लिए ऑब्वियसली एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन चाहिए आपको. Public administration is regarded as great modernizer, a national builder and most important instrument of socio-economic transformation. अगर आपको inclusivity लेके आनी है, अगर आपको कुछ भी करना है, social economic transformation करना है, mass mobilization करना है, किसी भी around some thought, so public administration is needed for that. Now, significance of public administration increases with respect to developing countries like India. ठीक है, यहाँ पे पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का रोल थोड़ा अलग हो जाता है. अलग हो जाता है इन अ सेंस इट बिकम्स मोर सिग्निफिकेंट, इट बिकम्स मोर इम्पोर्टेंट इन डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज एज सच. ठीक है, इट इज सीन एज अ मेजर इंस्ट्रूमेंट फॉर प्रमोटिंग इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट एंड सोशल चेंज एट द सेम टाइम. ठीक है, डेवलप भी करना है, इट्स ए डेवलपिंग कंट्री, डेवलप भी करना है इकोनॉमी को और सोसाइटी को चेंज भी करना है. वी हैव टू इंक्रीज देयर परचेजिंग पावर, देयर स्टैंडर्ड्स ऑफ लिविंग और सोशल इल्स जो हैं सोसाइटी में, वो सोशल इल्स सारे ख़त्म करने हैं. सो सोशल चेंज लेके आना है. सो पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज सीन एज अ मेजर इंस्ट्रूमेंट फॉर प्रमोटिंग दैट. इट इज़ अ प्रोसेस बाय विच objectives are defined, plans are formulated, institutions are created, changes are effected. ठीक है, तो ये public administration का role in developing countries gets much more significant. In developing countries, poor look to public administration to improve their lot and alleviate their misery. ठीक है, तो पुअर के हाथ में एक ही सहारा है भाई, गवर्नमेंट. गवर्नमेंट कुछ करेगी तो ही तो पॉवर्टी कम होगी, गवर्नमेंट नहीं करेगी तो पॉवर्टी कैसे कम होगी. वी कैन नॉट डू दैट ऑन आवर ओन, वी नीड सम इंस्टीट्यूशनल सपोर्ट फॉर दैट. सो पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन प्लेज अ डेफिनेट रोल इन इम्प्रूविंग देयर पुअर कंडीशंस ऑफ डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज. It deals with basic problems of poverty, illiteracy, unemployment, malnutrition, हर चीज़ से, growing population, housing for weaker sections, हर चीज़ से deal करता है. Such is the significance of public administration in developing nations. It provides various welfare services, it has to undertake various development programs, it has to maintain law and order, it has to collect revenue and other taxes, and overall it has to develop a sense of nationhood. This is the biggest thing that public administration does in developing nations. ठीक है, it has to develop a sense of nationhood. Now, small note for you guys, in developed nations, ठीक है, अगर आप अमेरिका देखोगे या जापान देखोगे, in developed nations the role of public administration is more of qualitative in nature. We'll see why, because it has to deal with डेवलप्ड अमाउंट ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर. ठीक है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप हो चुका है, तो अभी पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का डेवलप्ड नेशंस में क्या काम होगा, जो डेवलप्ड हो चुका है ऑलरेडी उसकी क्वालिटी को सुधारो. बट इन डेवलपिंग नेशंस इट इज़ मोर ऑफ अ क्वांटिटेटिव इन नेचर. ठीक है, रोड्स नहीं है, रेलवेज नहीं है, ब्रिजेस नहीं है. ठीक है, तो इफ़ यू हैव टू, पॉवर्टी एलिवेट नहीं हुई है, मॉलन्यूट्रिशन है, सब कुछ है. ठीक है, फाइनेंशियल इंक्लूजन नहीं है, तो ये सब आपको पहले अचीव करना है. तो इट इज़ मोर ऑफ अ क्वांटिटेटिव इन नेचर. क्वालिटी तो बाद में आएगी ना, पहले अचीव तो कर लो, फिर उसकी क्वालिटी सुधारेंगे, राइट. सो इन डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज इट इज़ मोर ऑफ अ क्वांटिटेटिव इन नेचर. And one of other reasons is in developing countries public competes with private enterprises. ठीक है, वहाँ पे सब कुछ डेवलप हो चुका है, तो जो बेसिक सर्विसेज हैं विच डेवलपिंग नेशंस प्रोवाइड एज अ गवर्नमेंट, वहाँ पे डेवलप्ड नेशंस में प्राइवेट एंटरप्राइजेज प्रोवाइड करते हैं, तो इट कम्पीट्स विद प्राइवेट एंटरप्राइजेज. तो वहाँ पे क्वालिटी का क्वेश्चन आता है इंस्टेड ऑफ क्वांटिटी. So I hope you have understood this. So practice questions. Nothing is worthwhile if you do not practice. So what I suggest is next screen पे कुछ practice questions आएंगे, आप screen को pause करके उनको note down कर लो. If I get time I'll definitely make a answer video after entire module has been covered. तो मैं एक आंसर वीडियो बनाऊंगा if I really get time. So please do let me know in comments if you need answers for these practice questions. So these are some practice questions. You can pause the video on this slide. So this lecture is over, but before saying thank you, let me just give you an overview of what idea I have to upload my lectures. Okay, so as of now I am focusing only on paper 1, not on paper 2, and if this gets completed I will definitely think about doing paper 2 lectures as well. Now within paper 1 my plan is to cover all the topics, even hidden topics which are not directly mentioned in the syllabus, but every year UPSC asks 1 or 2 questions from these hidden topics. Trust me on this. Some hidden topics are like, modernism, neo-modernism, positivism and whatnot. Every module of paper 1 has some hidden topic in it. My plan is to cover everything, and everything depends on whether you guys like my way of teaching or not. Watch a few more of my lectures and comment on the videos whatever you want me to take more, or whatever particular module you want me to take next, or whatever. And wait for it, because the next module will be interesting. This was just meaning, scope and significance, right? Next module will be really interesting, where we get into evolution of public administration and Wilson's view. So because this takes up a significant amount of time, I will keep doing this only if you like the way I teach. So comment on the video and give your heartfelt review. Also subscribe to the channel. Link to the channel will be in the description of the video, so subscribe to the channel if you do not want to miss my any upcoming video. So if you subscribe to the channel, those any new videos that I post will be shown in your home page. Also, if you like the way I teach, please like the video on YouTube and share it with your friends and let the education spread. I hope this was a quality content, and just comment on it whatever you feel. Give me your review. Thank you very much for your patience. Hope to see you in my next video.